let's go for a drive. Alright everybody, welcome back to another day at the farm. It's kind of a nice, gorgeous day, so we had toddler time this morning at the farm and cleaned up after that and just doing some different things. And I have to go up to the sugar bush and check on some things. It's been a couple weeks since I've been up there, and we have a terrible time with trespassers on this property, so I'm going to take a drive up there and see what's going on and make sure everything's alright. I thought I'd bring you along. Like I say, I haven't been up there for a couple weeks. We've got quite a bit of rain. The road might be a disaster. Hopefully we can make it. I really don't feel like getting stuck. And go and check on some things. I am in the newer truck. I should be in the old farm truck, but it's out of gas, so it is what it is. So anyway, we're gonna head up there. I'm going to turn the camera around and try and get footage of this. I apologize, it's probably going to be rough because the road is a disaster and it's hard to hold the camera steady and drive and so on and so forth. So let's go for a drive. Alright, so I've arrived up in the sugar bush, as per wonderful driving video. Hope it didn't make you too seasick. And just checking some things out. And aside from some overgrown grass, it's not that bad. Here's the sugar shack. All the doors are still locked, the windows are safe. And woodshed, lots of grass and more grass. So definitely looks like I got some work ahead of me. We're getting later in the year now, and should come up with the mower and trimmer and do some trimming. So I'm back in the truck now, and I'm gonna drive down, hopefully drive down one of the trails that lead to the back of our property and check a couple fences. We do have, like I say, significant issues with trespassers, and they don't seem to want to respect our property and cut fences and everything else. So we'll take a tour back and see what's up. Couple obstacles in the way I have to move. more obstacles here, but close enough. I'm just going to walk up and check on this and see what's going on. For many, many years, this trail was left unattended and open, and people just discovered that it was a trail they could walk on, put on their snowshoes and snowshoe or whatever, and it's our property, we're liable and everything else. But pleasantly surprised to see, it's kind of tough to see in the sunlight in the video, but our page wire fence is still up, and this is one of the areas where a lot of people were coming through, and hence why you can see these signs here. And even though we had these signs up, people just kept walking on by, and no respect for property, and that's a whole other story. So we'll get backed out of here and continue on our journey. So I'm on my way back out of the sugar bush, and pleasantly surprised that everything's all right, and no real tracks or signs of anybody being through there. As I said before, we do have significant problems with trespassers in here, and part of the problem is that our property is NCC property, of course, as you may or may not know, and our whole farm is surrounded by NCC conservation land, which includes walking trails and paths and everything else. And people seem to think that just because they're on NCC land, they can come and go as they please, but that is not the case, and we're trying to eliminate people from coming and going as they please, to the point where one night last week, Amy and the girls were going out to do chores, and there was an SUV parked in our parking lot, and they had opened the gate at the road, let themselves in, closed the gate, and were sitting there doing illegal activity, we'll call it. So it gets very frustrating, and like I say, we're trying to eliminate that as much as possible, but it's a constant battle. So it seems like that trail up there anyway has been neglected, luckily, and that's a good thing. So happy to see that, happy to see that everything's all right up in the bush, and it's about time to call it a day and go in and have some supper with the family and do some chores later and see what tomorrow brings. So thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.